in the comments saying that, yeah, well, you should have known, and if you didn't want that, you shouldn't have had kids. If you didn't want to sacrifice your body, you shouldn't have had kids. If you didn't want to trade in your freedom, you shouldn't have had kids. So, there's all of that mom shaming, and it is so rampant that a lot of the times, a lot of us just don't say anything. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Aisha O'Reilly, and I love talking about the untold stories of motherhood. Just so much goes on in my head, and that sometimes I think, let me just record this and get people's thoughts and opinions on it. And so I've been doing that on mainly my Instagram platform for a while. As you know, I'm very active on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me yet, please go ahead and follow me there. Of course, follow me here on my YouTube channel if you haven't followed yet. Subscribe, like, comment, share. I really want to get the whole mama show, the whole mama movement, everything going. This is the year, fam. This is the year, right? So all of my whole mama fans, please tell anybody and everybody that you know, whether it's moms, whether it's women who don't have children yet or decide they don't want to have children. The point is, the content that I make for the whole mama isn't just for mamas, as she says when she greets people and says, hey mama. But anyways, it's not just for mamas. It is for anybody who has a mama in their life, which is basically everybody. If you're not a mom, but you still want to understand your best friend a bit better, or your sister, or your aunt, or your own mother better, that's basically what the whole mama is. And we cannot really succeed in our mission to become more whole people, whole mothers, without our village. And if you don't have children, you're still part of our village. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Share, share, share. Please, please, please. Thank you. So something that has been on my mind very, very recently, because my kids have been on school holidays, is, am I the only mama who counts down until bedtime? Okay, hear me out, right? I know that my normal listeners don't need me to explain this, but of course I love my kids. I love my kids. Absolutely love them, adore them. And let me be honest, by 6 p.m. I'm done. I'm done. I am exhausted. Between and usually that's the most hectic time in my day, actually. Let me correct myself. Morning, getting ready for school is more hectic, but obviously because we've been on holidays, that hasn't been happening, at least not as early, right? But that changes as of this week. That time, and then I have to switch gears into I have to take my mom hat off and then into entrepreneur and into content creator and into whatever it is that I have to do that day other than mothering while my kids are at school. But then when they do come back, it's go, 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 go. We have a bedtime. We have a strict bedtime routine. Okay, maybe not strict, but it's 80%. My kids have to be in bed by 8 o'clock, otherwise all hell breaks loose. It's hectic. They come back from school, snack time, and it's snack time again, and all three of them never ever want the same thing. So I have to prepare 3 different snacks. Otherwise, so-and-so's not eating or that person's not eating. It's the whining. It's the endless snack requests. And it's breaking up fights. I am at that stage of my motherhood where I have to separate my kids. Middle child is fighting with oldest child. Middle child is fighting with youngest child. The two opposite children, the youngest and the oldest, never usually, sometimes, they quarrel, of course, but it's usually every 1 minute or something. It's mommy this, mommy that, mommy, and it drives me mad. I get so overwhelmed most of the time, even when I have prepared, because I know a lot of people oh yeah, just prepare for this, whatever. I meal plan on the weekends. I meal prep as well on the weekends, but still, I think it's one of those things because I've had a whole day, and by the end of the day, I just, I need a minute or 2 or 20. I just need a minute I just don't have enough time in a day to have that moment to myself, to have that, kind of decompressing time that I would love to have. So by the time from 6 until 8, it's just da 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 da. Okay, snacks, dinner, bath, bed. And then obviously, I have a 3-year-old, I have a teenager. More times than not, she does not want to eat. And more times than not, she doesn't want a bath. So one day she loves a bath, and then the next day she doesn't. And then one other day she loves chicken, and then the next day she hates chicken. It's always a guessing game. And honestly, again, I love my kids. I love my daughter. And it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. So for me, I'm very much like, even though I don't have a watch, I don't wear a watch, but I am consciously thinking, okay, that must have been about 20 minutes. What time is it now? I check the time. Okay, that must be. So then finally, by the time I get them into bed and, we say our good nights and our kisses, of course, 1 or 2 or 3 of them now wants to talk or ask me questions about some random fact about dinosaurs or what happened at school today that made them laugh so much. On a good day, of course, I'm able to, as they always say, take it all in, enjoy it. But honestly, right now, in this time of my motherhood life and journey, when they go to bed, I'm like, finally. Even though it's like maybe half an hour before I fall asleep. My decompression time doesn't last that long. I'll be honest about that. But it's something that right now I'm really looking forward to. You know what I've realized though? Despite what the world would want me to believe that means that I don't love my kids, it is the complete opposite. As I said earlier, of course I love my kids, but I'm also human and I have limits. And I have times when I'm overwhelmed and have times where I'm like, you know what? I really just don't feel like reading 3 books. I will read 1, but not 3, So any thoughts? Or is it just me? Am I the only one? Tell me I'm not the only one. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment letting me know about any topics that you would like me to chat about. I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, and we were kind of like just chatting about, life, motherhood, what's going on. And she also has like a couple of kids. It kind of got me thinking, and I asked her this question, like, if you knew then what you know now about having children, especially about having more than 1 kid, how many kids would you have had? So, a lot of the times people, especially online, when anything remotely opposite to what the world has kind of taught us about motherhood and being a mom, and if you give yourself, you give 100% of yourself to motherhood, then you'll be this, that, and whatever. Like the perfect mom image, basically. Anytime that we say anything like the opposite of that, like I love my kids, but I'm not really enjoying motherhood, things like that. People always come in the comments saying that, yeah, well, you should have known, and if you didn't want that, you shouldn't have had kids. If you didn't want to sacrifice your body, you shouldn't have had kids. If you didn't want to trade in your freedom, you shouldn't have had kids. So, there's all of that mom shaming, and it is so rampant that a lot of the times, a lot of us just don't say anything, which is a huge reason for this podcast to begin with, right? Okay, so if you knew then what you know now about having children, and especially about having more than 1 kid, would you? Let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know, what are you currently finding challenging. I don't want to use the word struggle because struggle kind of makes it, I don't know. I just don't like it. Yeah. It has like almost negative connotations to it. Whereas a challenge is like, okay, a challenge can be overcome. So what are you currently finding challenging in your motherhood journey? Even if it has to do with you, specifically if it has to do with you. Is it self-care? Is it like me, battling to find a moment to decompress properly? Is it finances? Are you not sleeping properly? Like, what's happening with you? I'd love to know. Drop a comment, and again, subscribe to my channel for more whole mama updates. But in the meantime, catch me every week with these little snippets, and I'll see you next week. Bye.